I remember first contacting the project, and my first contact with the communication support specialist were really wonderful in that I wasn't just assigned a label.
I thought that having a communication specialist was the best thing for me because they helped me to go to the courtroom and not be in awe on not knowing, what was going to be said.
It's been a really, really great experience, and a matter of fact, I depend on them.
Thank you for your interest in the Vermont Communications Support Project. It's our goal to give you a comprehensive overview of the VCSP, its history, who we are, and what we do. We hope that this video will provide you with a sense of how a communications specialist can help assure that people with communication-based disabilities can participate fairly and effectively in court and administrative proceedings. The Vermont Communications Support Project recruits, trains, and certifies communications specialists to assist people whose disabilities affect their ability to communicate. The accommodations that the communications specialists provide strive to assure equal access to our system of justice and to state services.
I find that the project is a wonderful addition to the litigation system. It's something that I was not aware of initially when I was a judge, and when I first learned about it, I found that it was a wonderful way to have litigants who really seemed not to understand what was going on get some assistance so that they had a better understanding of the process.
It's doing me real good and stuff like that, and it's learning me, some, different things. It's learning me, to, talk to them and stuff like that too, and stuff.
The Vermont Communications Support Project is the first project of its kind in the country. Since its inception, there has been increased interest and collaborative support for the project from the state of Vermont.
Hi, I'm June Bascom. I'm with the Department of Disabilities, Aging, and Independent Living. The state of Vermont has, over the years, offered collaborative support for the Vermont Communications Support Project. A grant from the Department of Disabilities, Aging, and Independent Living, including funding from the Department for Children and Families and the Department of Mental Health, along with the state judiciary, supports the program's infrastructure and the accommodations that are being provided to people with disabilities through this project. When people are involved with the judicial or state administrative process, it's important that they comprehend and communicate as effectively as possible. If they're experiencing barriers as a result of disability, then being provided with the necessary accommodation is important and is their legal right under the Americans with Disabilities Act.
I thought that having a communication specialist was the best thing for me because they helped me to understand some of the words the courtroom used, or the judges, or even the lawyers. So they helped me to understand what they meant.
My name's Ed Paquin, and I'm the Executive Director at Disability Rights Vermont, which has been, for the last few years, the home for the Communications Support Project. In the late 90s, a situation came to the attention of the Defender General's office in which there was a person involved in a court case with a disability that was affecting that person's ability to understand the court process and to communicate effectively. His lawyer requested that a specialist also be assigned to the case in order to give this person an opportunity to participate in this judicial process equal to people without disabilities. This case was important in shaping the future of Vermont's Communication Support Project. It seemed clear back then, and certainly remains clear to us now, that providing accommodations to people with disabilities, no matter what the qualifying disability, is the right thing to do.
Our goal is to work with every client to develop a communication plan that will provide appropriate accommodations for that individual, ones that will support and provide them with an equal opportunity to communicate as best as they are able within their judicial and/or administrative process. The Vermont Communication Support Project serves the entire state of Vermont, and the communication specialists provide their services as independent contractors.
My name is Hilda Hyde, and I've been offering services as a communication specialist specialist since 2004. There are many different ways that we assist and support people, and each and every communication plan is individualized. Many of our clients have learning disabilities and/or developmental disabilities, and they need help understanding the terminology and the process that's involved in their judicial or administrative hearing. Some of our clients have traumatic brain injuries, PTSD, or psychiatric disabilities, and the way that we support these clients will likely involve completely different tools and strategies. A large percentage of our clients have multiple disabilities, and this contributes greatly to the need for an individualized communication plan.
I didn't necessarily fall into, I guess, sort of stereotypical, place of a challenged person, but nonetheless, I definitely needed the aid in the courtroom.
The people I have assisted as a communication specialist over the years have had a variety of disabilities requiring creative support strategies. In every case, I am sure that the work of the communication specialist was a crucially important element to the person receiving the services.
I became interested in the Vermont Communication Support Project because when you are dealing with litigants in court on a day-to-day basis, many of them have various different challenges. Some of those challenges are not completely apparent to the judge. Some of them are, but having a referral service to a project that can evaluate what needs those people have and assist them in participating in the court process is a wonderful advantage that we have here in Vermont.
The communication specialists are available to offer communication support in family, civil, small claims, traffic, and probate court. Victims in criminal court may also apply for services. The VCSP does not offer services to defendants in criminal court.
The meetings that we have with our clients prior to and following their hearing or meeting is a critical aspect of the service that we offer. Often the work that is done during those meetings provides the client with strategies and the confidence to overcome their communication barriers.
I have a meeting before and after. It's important because, so I, understand and stuff like that too,
We are committed to our clients and to providing accommodations that are necessary as a result of their disability. However, communication specialists offer no legal advice. We are not advocates, and we are not on anybody's side. We sometimes end up interacting with a number of other people who are involved in the process, such as lawyers, social workers, court clerks, family members, or others, but only as it relates specifically to the support and accommodations being provided.
Having a communication specialist really helped me process what was going on in the legal system. They could stop the meeting at any point that I was confused or not sure of what was happening, and they would redirect it so that it was explained to me so that I understood exactly what was happening.
Often the communication specialists offer services in addition to the client's lawyer. There's a different skill set being represented by the attorney and the communication specialist, but with a mutual respect that aims at giving the clients their best opportunity for effective communication.
I'm Kerry Spradlin. I'm an attorney in the Rutland Family Court, and I do primarily juvenile law. I've known about the project for about 9 or 10 years now and have used it on numerous occasions where my clients appear to have difficulty either understanding the court process or understanding me. I find that the Communication Support Project is an excellent way to have my clients feel more comfortable in the courtroom and, more importantly, to understand what's going on in the courtroom. When I have a client that I think needs an accommodation, someone who either has difficulty understanding me or is having difficulty understanding the court process, I have no problem talking to my client, seeing if they think they need an accommodation, and then filing the appropriate motion with the court. I think that the Vermont Communication Support Project is very professional. I think they're very thorough. They have skills that an attorney simply doesn't have. And I hope that in the future other attorneys will use it.
Clients having access to communication support before, during, and after a hearing or meeting results in participants who are better prepared, less overwhelmed, and less intimidated by the process. This increases efficiency.
Over the past several years, I've presided over a number of judicial proceedings that involve communication specialists from the Vermont Communication Support Project. If a litigant qualifies for project services because they have a disability that creates a barrier to their effective participation in a court proceeding, I'm happy that we have the option of getting the project involved. When I'm uncertain about a litigant's ability to adequately communicate in court, having the project involved is very reassuring. Litigants with disabilities who have the assistance of the project often seem to be better prepared and better able to participate in their hearings. Most impressive, though, is the sense I get from litigants with disabilities that win or lose, they felt that with the assistance of the project, they were better able to state their case and be heard. In my view, this is itself a great benefit to our judicial system.
As with most programs these days, there is a process for accessing the services administered by the Vermont Communication Support Project. The director works closely with the judiciary, court operation managers and clerks, directors and staff within the Agency of Human Services, the Defender General's Office, and others who may be involved in assuring that people with disabilities who need accommodations are provided with them.
The Vermont Communication Support Project is a resource that's been more and more commonly used over the last several years, I would say. And it has greatly improved access to justice for persons with communication-based disabilities. As a Vermont Superior Court clerk, over the years, I've seen a number of times when litigants with communication-based disabilities have difficulty understanding the process, and therefore difficulty participating in that process. The Vermont Communication Support Project has been a great benefit in terms of changing that dynamic. If staff feels that a litigant might benefit and might be eligible for the project, we provide information, a brochure that describes what the communication specialist can do for that person. And we have found that persons who are eligible for the project and who are able to take advantage of it as a resource are typically far more comfortable in the courtroom setting and therefore can more effectively participate in the process.
Makes it, more fair because what they do is explain to me good and stuff like that, and then, I answer their questions afterwards, and I know what they're saying and stuff, and they ask me, questions and stuff, like, they'll ask me, like, do you know what this means, and I'll say no, and they'll explain it to me, and stuff like that.
It's a program that's been very beneficial to the litigants and then also to the judiciary as a whole. Anytime that access to justice can be improved, it's a win-win.
The qualification process usually involves the completion of a couple of forms that document a person's disability or disabilities and how those disabilities affect their ability to communicate. In a judicial proceeding, a motion to appoint a communication specialist must be filed with and granted by the court in order to assure a communication specialist will be assigned. Please remember that assignments don't occur overnight, so it's important to allow time for the qualification process and the assignment of services.
Since the founding of the Vermont Communication Support Project, we've had a guiding principle to ensure that those with disabilities are given an equal opportunity to meaningfully participate in their court and state administrative proceedings. We at Disability Rights Vermont are committed to people's civil rights and to programs that will ensure inclusion in all aspects of life.
I mostly want to say that I'm very grateful to the Vermont Communication Support Project for being there when I needed them and needed the support of a communication support specialist. It's been quite a journey for me over the last 3 years, and I was glad to have a communication support specialist there helping me along the way.
In summary, the Vermont Communication Support Project serves individuals with disability-related communication barriers that prevent them from fully participating in court and state administrative proceedings. VCSP services are confidential, and qualified individuals who are assigned a communication specialist are provided the accommodations at no charge to them. For more information, please contact us.